All right, guys, we are live, episode 120 of the Shooter's Mindset Show. Thanks for joining us here. We got an old-time friend, Steve Durant, is in the house. What's on, Steve?
What's happening, man? Glad to be back. It's been a little bit, so I just want to pop in, say hello, and CZ is my kind of show, so let's rock and roll. Let's do this.
Definitely. Awesome.
Yeah, we know CZ. Steve jumped off the Glock bandwagon of cool kids and is now a metal frame loving CZ guy now.
I'm an upgraded fellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jennifer Seymour's in the house. What's on, Jennifer?
Hey, I'm back. Much better than last week.
Yeah, we got and then we have the guest of the hour, Grandmaster production shooter, Matt Hopkins is in the house. What's on? What's going on, Matt?
Hi, everybody.
The classic high, huh?
Yeah.
I was waiting for it.
Dude, I get so much shit over that, but I gotta keep saying it now, like it's the thing.
Yeah, it's like your trademark now.
Yeah.
It's like if you said anything different, it'll suck.
Yeah.
Right on. So, guys who are new to the show, Q&A section, bottom left-hand corner of your show is a good way to access the Q&A section. Ask Matt your questions throughout the show. Ask any of us if you got questions for us too. Ask them. Go for it. Also, you can do that on the Shooter's Mindset Facebook page. There's a post that should be going live in about 2 minutes now, where you can just post your comments and use Facebook if you prefer to use that. Show sponsors today, Tactical Shit, shop.tacticalshit.com. I was surfing their website earlier today, found a $300 charging handle that we might talk about. If you missed a pre-chat, we talked a little bit about it, but a $300 charging handle for an AR, that's kind of like... What does it come with?
AR for that?
Close to it. Now it is.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, it's crazy. Techwear USA for a fine jersey. Steve, is that a Techwear jersey? I didn't ask you.
That is a Techwear jersey. They are doing czforum.com shooting teams jerseys now, so pretty awesome. They did nice work. I'm happy, proud.
Yeah, I like that angel deal you guys got going on. Is that the logo for the forum?
Yeah, man. That's I think that's from Europe. It's from over in Czech Republic, or is it Czech Republic? Yeah.
I think that was one of their ads for the PO9, I think.
Yeah.
Right on. So Techwear USA for your jersey needs, apparel needs. They also got some AR charging handles over there that I've been sporting lately, and some the Techwell. So if you 1911 guys need a magwell, some grips, Techwear USA. All right. And Brett Russo as always, very beginning. All right. We talked about the Q&A section. The Shooter's Mindset app is available for iPhone and Android devices. Download it. Does us a big favor. It's very nice. It's actually a very nice user-friendly app. You can watch all the Shooter's Mindset videos. I'm still rolling out things from SHOT. I'm like the last one to be doing that. I know people kind of tired of seeing it. SHOT show all up in the feed, but I guess I gotta upload them eventually. So, I mean, they'll be coming like one a day from now on. All right, Matt, for those who are unfamiliar with you, tell us a little bit more about yourself, maybe some recent match accomplishments. What do you got?
Matt Hopkins. I'm based out of Kansas City, Missouri. I started shooting USPSA in 2007. 2011, I was 13th at Nationals. 2012, I became a GM. Then 2014, I was 7th at Nationals. So that's a big accomplishment. Won Pro-Am, Limited, and Open Amateur also.
Right on,
I
yeah.
opened with my limited production gun, so that was interesting.
You won Limited with your production gun?
Yeah, no, open with my production gun.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
beyond impressive.
Work full-time at CZUSA as a parts manager. Member of the CZUSA shooting team. That's about it, I think.
Yeah,
We'll get into the other stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll talk about a lot of stuff throughout the show. But, I mean, first time I seen Matt, I mean, actually shooting. I was actually, you know, I mean, I didn't really know about the guy too much before this. And then, you know, I heard of him. Saw him at Universal Shooting Academy down here where they hold the Pro-Am. And he was in a super squad, you know, so I was just spectating over there. And then I saw him take down... what was it? It was like a home run, kind of like a baseball stage. You remember that one?
Yeah, I definitely remember that. I think I just went for all and just cleaned it.
Yeah, you cleaned it. And I was like, holy shit, this dude, you know, that's how I walked away pretty impressed with that because, you know, you see the super squad shooting at that stage, and they're trying to hit home runs. It was like a thing where you hit a home run at that stage.
Yeah.
And Matt just
Almost
came out there and just blew it away. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Yeah. Are you shooting the Pro-Am this year?
I want to try it. It moved locations, so I'm not sure where it went, like South Carolina, I think. So I'm going to try to get it. I love that format of match more than anything.
Yeah.
But, like, I like it even more than USPSA at this point. It's just there's not enough matches around that actually hold it.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. The instant feedback, I mean, it's definitely a lot of fun shooting nothing but steel, watching everything fall.
Yeah, it's a good setup, too. Like, it doesn't take long. All the times are squished down where everybody competes in the same time, and you get it done in 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, and you're in and out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. Jen, you shot any Pro-Am stuff or care to shoot or willing to shoot?
I mean, I'd like to. You know, I do more 3-gun than anything, but I like the Pro-Ams that they have in 3-guns. It's just, it's good to, I mean, the ladies match is a 3-gun. I mean, it's a Pro-Am.
Right.
There's
a
a
little
couple
different.
of others.
But that's an actual 3-gun match. That's not an actual all-steel match, right?
Yeah.
So, it's a little different.
They pair you with a pro or something, right, on that?
On which one, the ladies?
The Pro-Am.
No, it's just, they're there. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like a 3-gun style match.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now, bad. Florida Open's around the corner. Steve, you're not attending that, but I know I attended it last year. That was a good match. It was a difficult match. I would say it's difficult, Florida Open. I mean, not that I'd shoot a shit ton of USPSA matches, but I mean,
I've shot it twice.
From last year, I remember compared to Area 6's stuff, even.
And it's definitely one of the
think of it?
It's a tough match because it's right at the beginning of the year, and everybody isn't basically up to speed like they are with taking the winter off.
Right.
So it's definitely challenging, and they're all like field courses. So
Right.
and they have crazy swingers every year. I've shot it. Like three partial targets on one swinger. It's nuts.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's why I don't do USPSA. In 3-gun, I just have to put 2 anywhere on the paper. Anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, those targets, if you got 2 on paper,
that was fine.
You're pretty good.
Yeah.
You're pretty happy with that in regards. Joshua Doss saying, "What's up to the Shooter's Mindset people?" What's up, Joshua Doss? Nice seeing you in here. Let's kind of get into it here. I know a lot of people are kind of interested. It's kind of a hot topic right now as far as CZ goes, and that's the Shadow 2. Matt. It was kind of like rumored as being fake at one point, and now it got clarified, and kind of some leakage going on. What do you got, and what can you tell us, and what can't you tell us right now?
Basically, the Shadow 2, it is true. They're releasing it at Iwa Show, which will be in March. Basically, I can't really talk any of the specifics on it, but it's an updated version of the Shadow. It'll come with the aluminum grips like you see in the picture. It has a couple different safety options on it. But other than that, I don't really know much. I don't know about interchangeability of parts or anything. We haven't had our hands on one in the U.S., so They haven't even shipped them to the U.S. yet.
Yeah, I saw some guy saying he played with it at SHOT Show. I'm like,
No,
I was like, I looked, dude, I didn't see it.
I shot one when I was in the Czech Republic for a work trip back in late last year, but there's been none in the U.S., none at the SHOT Show. I think they only went to one match, the Australia Asians, where they did some promo stuff there for it.
Right. Steve, what are your thoughts?
I was just going to say, from the picture, it almost looks like a hybrid between a tactical sport and a Shadow. I could be wrong, but it looked like the slide was a bit thinner from top to bottom, height-wise. It looked a little more low profile like the tactical sport. And the slide serrations or cuts or whatever you want to call them, those kind of are similar to the tactical sport. It looked like the beaver tail was a bit higher too. And
yeah, that's one of the main things people have talked about is the higher cut on it.
Yeah.
And the decorating on the front and back strap. Those are
It
definitely.
looked like it may have an undercut trigger guard too, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much compared to the other guns.
Matt, do you shoot you don't you I don't you shoot an Accu Shadow? You don't shoot one, right?
I shoot a regular Shadow with the standard bushing from factory. That just means, well, I shoot some IPSC also, so I want to shoot the same gun throughout the both competitions.
Right.
And my gun's accurate enough for me that I haven't had a problem with it
Right.
on the Accu Shadow. But if I shoot like Bianchi or Bullseye or something like that, I definitely want to shoot the Accu. You got to get all you can out of the gun.
Right on. I actually was I think it was on the CZ custom shop website. There is an Accu Shadow available right now. I know
Oh,
they're
yeah?
kind of rare to come by in a sense, but there is one available. So for those who want one, I know we're going to be talking about those throughout the day.
Yeah.
I
It's
think it
kind
was
of
like,
odd they're in stock. That's good.
well, at least there's one of them in stock. I think it's like 275, so about just about over $2,000.
Yeah.
So for those who really want one, Steve, you have one, right? You own one.
Yeah, yep. They're nice, very nice guns. You know what? I like my standard 75 better. My 75 Shadow.
You think that's because of the weight, or
What's that?
you think that's because of the weight, or what? Why would you?
Yeah, I don't. I'm weird, I guess, but I don't like the way the SPO one feels in my hand in general. My 75 Shadow that I use for IDPA with the magwell on it, I love that gun. It's just more balanced for my preference. I need the weight towards the back as opposed to towards the front.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I know we got some. We have one here from Joshua Doss. In your opinion, what is the hardest, most difficult part of firearms development?
Whew. I'd say from a strictly competition standpoint, it'd be like calling the shots or like knowing exactly where your shots go once you fire. And someone asked me at one point, like, if there's one skill you could like keep forever and you didn't ever have to worry about, I said it'd be shot calling, because you know where your bullets are going, you know when, like, where you hit stuff, and you don't have to think about it. Like, if I could keep that without ever practicing it, that would definitely be the one thing I'd work on. Like, I would give, like, whatever. That'd be one of my 3 wishes if I had some from a genie.
Right. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I know when shot calling is something that I could work on. I think we all can work on. I mean, that's a good skill to really have. But
Yeah.
there's always some time where I felt like shit. I completely threw that shot, and I'll take another one. But then I think it's more honing it down when you know you threw a Charlie, versus an Alpha, and then I have a hard time really calling that shot if I knew I threw like 2 Charlie out there. I know when I'm throwing a Delta or something like that, that one I'll automatically put another one down
Oh,
there.
yeah, you definitely go, like, it's a.
Pretty big difference.
I guess it's like how fast you can see. Like, you're just fine tuning it, basically. You're going from, oh, I missed the target altogether to, oh, I shot a D instead of a C on that,
Yeah.
You just refine it over time. And it's usually the first thing to go away after a break and the last thing to come back after you start up again.
Right.
Any tips on how to develop that particular skill?
You really can't. Like, you have to shoot to do it. Like, you have to be shooting the gun and having the gun fire. And, like, when you're moving in a field course or, like, just your shoulders are moving while you're stopping and getting into position, all that goes into account. And that's the hardest thing to duplicate. I mean, you have to basically be shooting the gun.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I know. What was that guy? I mean, he had a lot on shot calling. He was kind of like a big deal when it came to his book. Was it Steve Anderson? Steve Anderson's big
yeah.
on shot calling.
Yeah, he is, I think.
And I know his book, and I know people who train with him that he does do some type of drills. If anybody's taken a Steve Anderson course, I don't know. I know he puts something in your vision, and you just got to call him out or something like that. I don't know. But
I
there
think
is.
the classic way to practice it is put a target up far enough you can't see the holes in it, and then shoot a shot and then mark it on a target like at your feet right away.
Right.
Basically, then after you shoot 5 or 10, go down and compare them. and you just work on seeing what the gun is actually doing.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I think that's pretty much what it is and what he does over there.
Yeah.
Steve, you got anything, Steve?
Something I work on still constantly.
Yeah,
Nice.
for sure.
You want a different question?
Yeah, if you got anything.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to hit that carry optics thing a little bit. There is a pretty big amount of hoopla around the internet, Facebook, wherever you want to look. People getting pretty excited about CZ being able to kind of move into the carry optics with some of their models that maybe in the past wouldn't have quite made weight per se. So I want to get Matt's opinion on that and see what he thinks would be the best route to go if somebody did want to set up a CZ for carry optics.
Yeah, definitely. USPSA increased the weight on the provisional division from 35 to 45 ounces. So basically that includes all of our guns now. Before you couldn't shoot any of the metal frame full-size guns and make weight very easily. So now basically the ideal setup would be a shadow. And then you could either have an ACU bushing or not, but then mount a RTS to the top of it. One thing you got to worry about is our slides are so thin on the width, not all optics will be able to be screwed into it if you machine the slide. So that's one thing you got to be aware of when you're working with our guns. I don't think the Trigicons will fit. The holes are too separated.
Right. Now you said the shadow. Do you mean the SPO1 version or the standard?
Yeah, definitely SPO1. That's our standard competition gun that we recommend for anybody that's shooting like USPSA production or IPSC like that.
Very
Yeah, before I think you were only like the polymer frame ones, the PO7, the PO9s.
Yeah, the PO7, PO9 were the only ones that would really relatively easy make weight. We had like a 75 shadow that once you cut the dovetail out and mount a sight to it and use some specific grips and a specific magazine, we can make the 35 ounces, but it was way too cost prohibitive for any like standard person to do, unless you really wanted to edge the weight.
Yeah. Is there anybody out there who's really interested in shooting carry optics division as of right now? Because I looked at Florida Open squad listing this morning, and I think I saw one guy out there that it said carry optics next to his name. So, I mean, I'm sure there's going to, I mean, you know, I know it's a newer division. I personally never gave a shit about it. We'll talk about, I know the pistol carbine stuff is a little bit more on my thing.
There's a few people out there, and the way they expanded the rules, like you could stipple the gun, you can do front cocking serrations, allow
the Timmy stuff in there.
Yeah, the Timmy stuff. I think that'll get some more shooters into it. The
yeah,
problem with the Florida Open and like Area 6 is getting a lot of flack over not allowing it because there wasn't enough people. They didn't approve it till level 2 till like a week ago.
Okay, so that's
basically there wasn't enough time for people to sign up. So
right.
That's
so
why
that could be a good reason why you see only one.
Yeah, exactly. I think later in the year you'll have more participation.
Yeah. Yeah, but I did notice that. So 45 ounce weight limit, like some stippling, some slide work now. So a lot of guys who are running that Glock 19 all kind of tricked out Casa style.
Yeah, you can undercut the grip. You can like reshape it until it doesn't fit your hand perfectly, stuff like that.
Right on. So Steve Moneypenny here has got a good one on CZ grips. Are there any grips available for CZ that makes the grip feel closer to the Tankfos? So CZ grips that feel similar to Tankfos.
Not that I know of. Matt Mink has been developing a set of grips with VZ that is supposed to mimic the bigger grip. And he met with them at SHOT Show. Supposedly he's supposed to have a sample of them pretty soon. I haven't had an update or anything on that, but I would ask Matt Mink if he has any update. Like, he would be able to tell you.
All right, so there's something in development there. Jen, you had one over on Facebook?
Yeah, well, Tony Paul said he missed the show. Apparently, he's a little too tipsy to stay up and watch. He
Appreciate
said,
the honesty.
Matt is awesome, Shooter's Mindset is awesome, Steve Duran is awesome. I will watch the replay and try to catch next week's show.
See?
I got way too drunk and missed the pre-show. So,
So he made a big deal about us having a lot of rifle companies on here and 3-gunners on here, and then he was excited to have a handgun shooter on here. And then
he got drunk, yeah.
Yeah, and then he got too drunk to watch it.
That's right. He was so excited he was celebrating before, I guess. But Tim Myers wants to know, Matt, do you like USPSA stages or IPSC stages better?
That's a good point. A good question.
And why?
I like the variety in IPSC because they force you to shoot a short, medium, and long course. USPSA, you'll show up to a match and shoot basically all field courses. And in a short course, the course designer can test one specific skill and basically limit out the skill. So basically you're pushing that skill to the limit and actually testing it and isolating it compared to adding it to a field course where the movement can soak up the time or just the amount of targets can soak up the time. So I definitely prefer IPSC stages. Even though they're a little more physical, they're not actually track meets, but they'll definitely have you bending and leaning in like awkward shooting positions that hardly anybody practices. But I definitely like the IPSC stuff better, usually.
Right on. I have one here from Josh Doss. The competitive industry seems to be pushing the lightest weight firearms possible. Do you see this as a fad, or is it here to stay?
I think the trend has gone the other way, actually.
Really?
Yeah, just in USPSA production,
Yeah.
CZ now for 2 years has been the #1 gun in nationals, with Glock #2, and like 5 years ago it was Glock and M&P, Smith & Wesson, basically only. No one else was there. We had maybe 3 guns at the whole match. But as a trend overall, I don't think the trend has gone away from the plastic guns. I think they definitely, like, if you took a poll of the regular membership, Glocks would still probably be the #1 gun used as a whole.
Right. Yeah, Steve, you got anything you wanted to add to that? I mean, I think more Joshua Doss. I think that's more the rifle kind of deal, more than a handgun deal. I have seen like everybody cutting skeleton eyes and everything as far as a rifle goes, but as far as pistol, I haven't seen really that trend too much, at least. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm scanning through some of these questions here, but we're going to switch gears here. We're going to talk a little bit about pistol caliber carbine division coming. Matt, you're a fan of this division. Myself included here. It's something that gives me an excuse to buy a pistol caliber carbine now and actually have a use for it. I've always talked to Steve about buying one, and Steve's like, dude, don't do it. You know what I mean? Just don't do it. It's a pistol caliber carbine. It sucks at long range. You know, all this stuff, and I've never bought one to this point. But now, and it's always been that CZ one. It's always been the pistol CZ Evo, and then now they came out with the rifle version of that, so you don't have to do the SBR and all that crap. And now you just buy it straight up. Yeah,
we have a U.S. assembled rifle now. That's available for 2016, so it's awesome.
Yeah, but
PCC is interesting because people are always saying, why let rifles in a handgun match?
Right.
I mean, that's a fundamental question that people have a problem with it, right?
Right. That makes sense.
Most questions that's been asked online from what I've seen. So basically, you're using a pistol caliber. It's not going to change any of the target damage. You're still going to have the same amount of damage to the steel that a pistol does in the PCC. So I haven't really heard anybody say anything about like damaging the steel or anything. A lot of people are saying the courses will have to be modified. But one thing they talked about in the board meeting that I was at, that they're going to have a set of parameters that during the provisional is basically all PCCs are going to be limited to this. So they're all going to have the same start position on every stage, no matter the stage.
Right.
So it's all going to be like set up in a box and real confined to start with. And then once the experience gets out there, the MDs, all the ROs are out there like getting used to it, they'll expand it.
I want to touch on one more thing too, just in my own defense. Anthony was mentioning me saying, "Don't get a pistol carbine," but that was back before. That was back during a time when Anthony didn't own an AR. He owned an AR for a long time and then didn't own an AR for a while. And that's when I was kind of like, get a real AR and then get your pistol carbine. I actually owned one. I had one of those Berettas, man, and I used to have a blast with that thing. But definitely anything out to like, you know, like when you're shooting out 100 yards with that thing, which isn't that far, you're getting like 6 inches of drop with it.
Yeah.
So they kind of suck for anything that's farther than that, but I mean they're kind of cool. I could see shooting a match with that.
It's you know, it's probably the more budget division than anything else. You could shoot it with a high point carbine.
Yep.
Think about that.
Yeah, I mean
That's true.
That's pretty cheap. What, under $200 for a carbine?
Yep.
yeah.
So.
And to my knowledge, those work fairly well. I think they work better than the pistols do.
Yeah, exactly. It's way better than pistol would.
Yeah. So not bad. I mean, I always wanted one just for fun factor, but I never bought one, and she saved me a lot of money. At least.
Well, now you have plenty of ARs. I think it's time to go buy one.
I was about to say, saved you money. You've spent money on everything else.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Just not a pistol caliber carbine. Yeah. Brandon, you have one on Facebook you want to hit?
Yeah, let me go to it. Hang on, it was a good one. So John Findlay says that he has a CZ P09 that I've been setting up for running as a limited steel challenge outlaw steel gun. My biggest problem has been the small size of the safety. Do you have any advice?
I unfortunately don't. I don't know of anybody that's making an aftermarket safety for that.
Come on, I was expecting profound wisdom.
I
was like, that's a great question. He'll answer this.
Like, he can modify it. Like, being in limited, he can definitely modify it. Like, take it to a, like, weld on it or something like that. Because it's metal under the plastic outside pieces. So you could take the little plastic piece off of it, then weld some onto it, then shape it specifically for his hand. That'd be an option.
Yeah.
There you go.
So there you go. Just more on the CZ carbine. I mean, the reason why I like it, why I've always liked it, was one, the cost. Okay, so it came in very affordable. Of course, you had to do. I kind of wanted one just to plink around. It was 9mm. I could have did some steel challenge with it at the point. But it's like for me to buy a gun, I have to have a match use for it. And kind of steel challenge is just kind of like the last resort deal. It's like, all right, you should use it for steel challenge, you know. Yeah. But it's not really a match that I super hardcore shoot. But now since they have the rifle edition, what was it, about $1,000, right?
Yeah, we have two versions. The one is $9.99 and one's $10.50. But the best thing about our guns is not just that cost of it. Like, that's the highest price 9mm carbine we have. Is basically $1,000. Our 30-round mags are retailing at $20. So like, there's no other mag on the market that costs $20 that I know of.
Right.
For a 30-round, like, legit, like, basically rifle magazine. Well, PMags and stuff like that, but there's a million of them.
Right. Steve, you had one you wanted to hit?
Yeah, I try to keep it, round it out, change the discussion up a little bit, go in a different direction. Tell us a little bit about the whole Dan Wesson deal. I mean, they kind of have a relationship with CZ, so on and so forth. Well, how does that all work and shake out?
CZ USA is owned by the parent company in the Czech Republic. And then CZ USA bought Dan Wesson in 2006. So we've owned them for 10 years now. We kept all the employees, all the managers, everybody that was making guns there, and we just bought them and basically improved on what they're doing and everything. So basically they're making 1911s, all US-made 1911s, made in the US with US parts, no MIM or anything. And now they're getting back into the revolvers also.
Nice.
They released a single revolver last year, and they're releasing the revolver pack this year with like multiple barrels, 2.5 to 8 inch barrels, all interchangeable.
There is a Dan Wesson 2011 as well, isn't there?
Yeah, we have the Dan Wesson Custom Shop basically builds 2-order high capacity, like double stack 2011 type guns. And I believe there's like 4 or 5 models of that now. They have a nice like 10 millimeter 2011 type frame, so it holds like 14 rounds of 10 millimeter.
Nice.
Can't get the 10 millimeter guys love that gun.
I don't get it, but yeah. I mean, I've shot my fair share of 10 millimeters. It's fun. I just consider it a novelty thing, and I'm not into spending money on. I don't know.
I guess if you're hunting, maybe that'd be the only use for me.
Yeah. There's just people out there that like the oddities.
Yeah, there's always a market. It's like the more I talk crap about 10 millimeter, I always find this guy that was standing there, 10 millimeter rocks. I'm like, dude, really? Where did you guys come out of? There's like more 10 millimeter buffs out there than I realized, but
they're very vocal too. Like they don't have a problem standing up and saying,
yeah,
10 millimeter is the thing, and they talk about it proudly too.
40 sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pistol caliber carbine is awesome. You can get your practice and carbine skill at pistol priced ammo. I mean, pistol, yeah. So 9mm, obviously, so you're going to get cheap practice and you can focus on some of the rifle skills on top of that. I mean, that was kind of my reason for wanting one in the beginning, but I always held off on it. What do we have? We had one in Carry Optics. Carry Optics is an excellent tasting ground for the tactical side of all the companies, and companies been taking advantage. And it's really interesting to see the innovations that are coming from it. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of sour on this division, but yeah, there are a lot of companies coming out with an optic-ready pistol, but I don't see it as like innovation. I mean, they're just drilling and tapping a slide ready for an optic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't find it super exciting.
One of the things I wanted the board to do was put a criteria on when they create a division like this to make it a full-fledged division. It has to meet these certain guidelines, and also do the same thing when they want to take away a division. So like they have a certain set of rules, like these are the hard, fast things. If the division doesn't meet this over a certain amount of time, they should look at taking it away and maybe revisiting later on. I think that should be implemented before either one of these two divisions become an actual division.
Yeah, but I also heard that they're having a Carry Optics Nationals already scheduled.
They are. I mean, it's a provisional division, so it's not technically a Nationals, I guess, but it is. It's weird.
Right. It is, but it isn't.
Yeah. It'll be right after the production Nationals this year.
And you have one hitting on the pistol caliber stuff?
Yeah, Michael Bresson wanted to know, do you see the Evo, the MPX, or another brand as the most widely used, and why? For PC or PCC.
I definitely see the CZ more widely used over that. The SIG is way too much money, in my opinion.
Over the SIG, I think the CZ will take it. Just because of the money and the amount of aftermarket parts. And magazines, honestly, because you got to have at least 2 magazines for it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I see there's going to be everything out there. Like if some dude has like an HK clone, they can bring those out and shoot them. There's going to be no real limit to it. I think you're going to see the most variety of guns in that division, whatever people have, and I think you're going to see a lot of AR conversions also.
Right. Mini Uzi here. Any idea of the rate of fire on the Evo 3? Is it full auto for subgun variant?
We do have a full auto version that we sell to LE and military, and for like demo letter people and stuff like that. I don't know what the rate of fire is. I shot it one time. Basically, it's a lot of fun. You waste a lot of ammo, but there's no real use for me for it.
I mean, Todd, what are you looking for as far as rate of fire goes? Because I know you shoot an Uzi. I mean, that has a high rate of fire, right? but what would kind of be a deal breaker as far as rate of fire for you? I don't, elaborate on that. The only thing I see as far as innovation will come is the bulletproof slide rack optics.
Yeah, I think that the optics will take a definite jump up.
Yeah.
When you break one every 3 months or something, that's going to definitely get bad for the manufacturers and even worse for the competitors. So.
Hey, Tim Myers on here wants to know, is PCC going to change stage design in USPSA? It's a good question.
It'll be up to the guys doing stage design, I think. I don't think it has to.
I
And
can
honestly,
see that being a pain in the ass, though, if
yeah,
it
it
does.
definitely would. Like, you're not going to start shooting 100-yard targets because PCCs are in there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's an option if you have a PCC-only match like Nationals. Throw a 100-yard target in there. That'd be kind of interesting.
Right.
Everybody talks about one hand. How are you going to do holding
Yeah,
on to a
strong hand
rope?
only.
You know, the PCC guys are just going to have to figure it out. I'm sure the handgun guys were thinking, like, what the hell did we do with this when they first started? Like, it wasn't even a thing probably back then. So, I mean, it'll just evolve. We'll figure it out. I don't think those those objections are so much that we can't try it. You know, we should at least be able to try it.
Yeah, I could see definitely holding on to a rope and
Yeah.
trying to shoot that thing.
Yeah.
That can be a little bit
Well, maybe
awkward.
it comes where you like only load 10-round mags for that part of it or something. You try to reduce the weight of the guns and stuff. So.
I mean, the CZ is super light in itself.
Yeah.
I can easily see sticking it out there and cranking some off, no
I
problem.
actually had to do that at the local match. They had such a tight shot. I had to do one-handed only, off my right shoulder and my left shoulder. So yeah, you have to do it sometimes, and they'll figure it out.
Right on. Steve, you have anything you wanted to kind of move towards as far as just changing the topic? I got a couple things. We hit a good amount of the new stuff already though. As far as the Evo 3 and the Shadow 2, we kind of cleared those things up a little bit from what Matt is allowed to tell us so far. As far as training goes, I know, Matt, this is kind of a newer thing for you. You started offering training to students who want to improve their game. How has that whole experience been, and where can people go to schedule a class with you?
I started training people last year. I did a class with Tim Heron. He's another local guy to me. We did 2 classes last year. And obviously anything you do new, you're going to be learning on it. So each class I did, I learned a lot. Excuse me. And, it's new, it's interesting. I'm not sure it's like I'd want to quit my day job to do it because I like what I'm doing now. I mean, I can't really see a better job for me. I like to, if I know something that other people don't, I'd be more than willing to teach them. I have a website, hopkinsshooting.com they can go to. They can email me there. You can set up a group class or an individual one. I can do either one. If you do individual, we do it at a local range here in Kansas City, and it'd be pretty minimal cost. And I'd like to do like a 2-hour session on that. So do after work one night, we go out, hit 2 hours, and just train up on one or two specific things that you can work on. Then the next session, do something else, real specific, on point, directed straight to you, like what you need to do to improve.
Right. They are. I visited the website. They are actually pretty affordable from what I've seen. Some classes go for. I mean, upwards into like $450. So they're way more affordable than that. Especially if you're in a local area. If you're local to Kansas City area, it's going to be even better for you, obviously.
Yeah.
But if they want to fly you out to Florida for a class, is that an option?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as long as we can get the schedules worked out and everything. I'm traveling with work a lot, doing trade shows, and shooting matches for them. So, but yeah, we definitely talk about it. I think it's something we could discuss.
Yeah. So visit hopkinsshooting.com and take a look at the website if you want some training courses. He's got a schedule there, and you guys can plan accordingly and take a class if you want. All right. Any on Facebook that you have, John?
Yeah, actually, I was about to say I had a good one. Tim Myers wants to know, how did you come up with the Hopkins dry fire drill in Ben Stoker's book?
Okay, yeah, I put a drill in there. Me and Ben are pretty good friends. We do another podcast together on his channel talking about shooting. We get into some weird topics sometimes, but he asked me to put a drill in his shooting book. And basically, I came up with a drill that did to help me perform better on transitions. So I broke them down where you could basically transition to a spot and then just look at the spot, or you can transition to a spot and then do a crisp sight picture. Basically, you could use the same drill for either one. And basically, you can use that drill to help improve your transition times by depending on what focus you use on the drill. So there's like 3 focuses. You shoot either hard front sight, basically mid-range between the two, and basically a blurry sight. So basically, you can work on those 3 things to help speed up your time between positions, and you could speed up the time between seeing, because that's where all the time takes, between seeing the sight lift off the target and then where the gun has to go next. So if you can reduce that time, you're going to be able to add like hit factor to your stage score.
I think that's a huge part of it, transitions.
Yeah,
What book is that in? I know he's got a few out there.
I don't remember. I think it's in the. It's not. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Well, I think he has like 3 or 4 books out right now. I know 2
I'll
of
find
them
out
I
which
have.
book. Second.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about open shooting and the Checkmate. I recently got a Checkmate, and I love the heck out of that gun. I noticed that it takes quite a bit of gas to get the compensator working. Do you know if there's any plans on maybe changing that up at some point in the future, or if they'll have maybe through the CZ USA website some other options for the Checkmate? I kind of wanted to maybe also look into a different slide rack or things of that nature. And just give me anything you want to throw out there about the Checkmate, because it's kind of a rarity. They're hard to come by.
They're definitely they're producing pretty small numbers. There's a custom shop inside the CZ factory that does all those.
Mm-hmm.
They do the Shadow Orange, the TS Orange, the Checkmate. I believe that's almost said something. They're probably doing the Shadow 2 also, so I'm not real sure on that. But basically, they were having a problem with regular 9mm factory ammo running the gun.
Right.
So that's why it's shipped with the iron sight on it now, and the comp is in the package. I don't know of any advancements for it. I know they're pretty happy with the sales on it. Like, it's sold basically what they wanted it to and a little more.
Why would they not? Why would they not put more out there? I mean, that seems like they go pretty quick when they.
They definitely do, and it's more of an entry-level open gun, I believe. You're not going to have a dude come from an STI probably to the Checkmate, just because the natural progression is start and incrementally go up in the cost of guns that you shoot. That's
Right.
pretty much valid in basically all the shooting sports, I think.
Right.
And I don't know. I think if they get more guns out there, the price will go down on them. But I'm not real sure. They bring in as many as they can, and obviously you can't ever fill all the demand on something
Right.
like that. So
And I probably have a lot of questions that you may or may not be able to answer, but
go ahead.
like I know one of the things with CZs, especially the Checkmate, there's a bit of an issue. Not that it's a bad thing; it just makes things a little bit tougher. It likes a shorter round, so especially with like the Checkmate, where you need that exponential amount of gas to get that 4-hole comp to work, you're really having to sort of play with the ammo to get it just right.
Yeah,
Is
definitely.
there a theory behind having, you know, the mags and the chamber itself maybe not accept a longer round, or is it just how it's always been?
I don't think there's a theory behind it. I know it was developed off the standard tactical sport platform, which is limited on length of the magazine, like the size of the bullet you can put in there.
Right.
Other than that, I mean, they use standard like NATO loading in Europe, so that's what they go off the spec. That's actually a different spec than the SAMI spec. It's a CIP spec,
Okay.
and that's what all the CZs are made off of. I believe it's different than SAMI spec. I don't know. I'm not real sure on that.
Right. I know, Steve, you were playing around with different loads, and there was a couple times that you shot it, and there was, it was kind of muzzle flippy on you. So did you decide what were you going with there?
Yeah, I only had 124 grain bullets on hand when I got the gun, so it's kind of hard to really get those things to not be flippy on the front end, even with the comp, because you only have so much room to put powder in there. And to be honest with you, I didn't want to get crazy with overpressure and have an issue, so I kept it on the safe end, I guess you would say. But right now, I'm getting ready for Steel Nationals. I work that match every year, the Smith & Wesson Steel Nationals for Volusia County Gun and Hunt Club, and I do the photography for them out there. And I took the comp off and just put the regular sighted nose on there, and I'm just going to use really light loads and shoot open with it. So it'll be like bunny fart loads. Should be fun.
Should be pretty fun to shoot it like that, though, right?
Fart.
Yeah.
Well, like originally they had what do they call that?
And a light spring too. I forgot to mention that.
They had the Champion before they had the Checkmate, and it had a 3-port comp, and it ran a lot better than the 4-port one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if something with the shooters they have or the development over in the Czech Republic, but they had. I don't know why they changed it to a 4-port, but
yeah, you kind of like need 40 grains of powder.
It's heavy too. Like it takes a lot. Like a regular minor round won't cycle it with the comp on it.
Yeah, I
It's just
changed out the
so
spring.
heavy.
I gotcha. I changed out the spring and put the other front end on. That way I've got a little bit quicker transition time too. The comp makes it a little bit long.
Jen, I know we're talking a lot of kind of things that are kind of out of your kind of expertise, in a sense.
I mean, I'm following along, but yeah, I'm not such a pistol
extraordinaire.
No.
I mean, any plans would you toy around an open division and 3-gun? That seems to be a fun as shit division, but most open does, but
it's an expensive division. When you're talking about getting open guns,
entry level, buy a Checkmate.
You gotta buy 3 open guns. You gotta.
I was about to say it's 3 though. It's not just 1. I mean, like you'd have to get mag loading, shotgun, and like everything.
Well, your rifle, you can just kind of like throw on an extra optic or something.
An extra optic.
Well, your rifle, right? You don't for an open rifle. What do you need? Not much, right?
No, I mean, I guess they are about the same. I guess then I could use a drum, huh?
Yeah. I mean, you could just up the capacity. I think you're allowed to use like 2 optics, like an RMR and like a 1-to-6 or something.
Yeah, I think you can have a one, like an offset.
So it's just like shotgun and pistol. You could turn your Glock until just throw on an RMR on there or something.
My Glock's on the way back.
It is? You got it? Okay.
Well, he called me today and he said, I'm putting it together. I was like, he said it'll be in the mail tomorrow.
Yeah, mine's still over there somewhere. But yeah. Let's kind of switch it here. I got some good kind of as far as like shooting questions here. Do you feel switching pistols / gear or kind of divisions will hurt the growth of a shooter trying to, let's say, make GM or something like that or whatever, win a nationals? Or do you think it does just the opposite to kind of flip-flop around and try things and new things?
I think it hurts. I think the more comfortable you get with certain things, like the gun, and obviously the reload and all that stuff that goes with it, you're going to be able to advance more and actually drill down into the specifics of that division. Like, you have to learn so much to get to that level of, like, even to be a GM, you have to learn so much just on the handgun that if you're switching every time, you're going to be trying to relearn the gun rather than keep learning, like, higher and higher skill sets.
Yeah, I kind of see that. I mean, there's been, I always kind of play around and talk to Steve that I'll go single stack and just go ahead and get a 1911 and just go that route, right? And then he's
I don't
like,
think there's a problem with people that jump around, though. If that's what they like to do, they like to buy guns, they like to have fun out there.
yeah,
There's no problem with that at all.
right, yeah. I
But
don't
if
see-
you want to, like, get real specific and get good at one thing, you should stick with one gun.
Building off that, Anthony had put up, I think you put it up or I put it up, somebody put it up, but we were talking like probably 2-3 months ago about a lot of people believe shooting open will make you a better iron sight shooter. How do you feel about that? And tell us why you feel the way you feel.
I have hardly any experience with open,
Mhm.
but I've heard that. And basically, I think it comes down to you see all the movement in the gun that you can't see with iron sights because the dot's there. And all that movement basically translates to less and less the more you get used to it, so you can actually get away with more things.
So it increases your awareness
Yeah, I think
to
definitely.
help build probably better habits.
Yeah, and I think it lets you know you can be not as perfectionist, you know? Like, you don't have to be perfect on every shot. You could get kind of sloppy on this stuff and still be okay.
yeah.
Makes sense.
It should actually help with shot calling too, no?
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing everything there. There's nothing's actually disappearing from you.
Right.
Like, the front sight's always usually disappearing up outside your eyesight. And the dot usually doesn't.
Right on. Yeah, we got a couple on Facebook you want to hit, Jen?
Yeah, we have one on there. Bill Tater wants to know, what are the best 3 or your favorite 3 dry fire drills for upping my game?
Oh, I think the Ben Stegner's book, my drill is in Practical Pistol, the blue book.
Yeah.
I like that drill. I still do that basically weekly. I do the white wall drill where you're basically just aiming at the wall and learning to pull the trigger without disturbing the sights. I think that's really important because that helps on trigger control. You're actually gripping the gun, seeing how, like, physically tight you actually have to grip it with strength. And basically you can get away with a lot depending on how tight you grip the gun. Like, the tighter you grip it, you can slap the crap out of the trigger and have really no issues on it the tighter you hold the gun. Third dry fire drill. I have a Steel Challenge practice set. I like setting up those stages and working on them. Because you have basically a set time you can work down. You know what the best guys are doing it in, and if you can get to that, you know you'd be competitive. So you have a set goal to get to.
Right. I want to send my recent USPSA video. I want to send over to you, Matt, just to look at it because obviously I'm shooting production, shooting a Glock. Not that that matters, but
Yeah.
I kind of I walked away from that match feeling pretty good because it was a mistake-free match for me. I mean, I didn't hit any any of the what do they call it, the non-threat targets. I'm speaking IDP,
No
illegal here and
shoots.
shit. No shoots, right?
Yeah.
And so I felt pretty good about it. It was pretty, and I don't shoot USPSA a lot. There was no major mistakes. The results came out. Obviously, there's a difference because I'm battling open and all these other guys. So I guess I think I was like 25th overall, but I won C class, right?
Yeah.
But I know I'm just trying to see some improvements that you can just tell from like a first-person view, because I felt like some of the guys, I look back at some of the guys who shot, I think they were shooting limited or whatever, and just seeing how they ran. But they definitely took a lot more targets on the move. Like, they were taking stars on the move, Texas stars on the move, and I was like, shit. Well, I mean, I know usually when I do shoot, I kind of go balls to the wall. I'm shooting everything on the move, and I'm like, but then production, I notice obviously my hits are opening up on paper when I'm taking a lot more stuff on the move. So I figured, hell, I'll play it a little bit more conservative. I'll work the positions and just get my shots, and I mean, the results were what they were, but I kind of felt like a little bit bummed when I saw the results in a sense. So I wanted to send you that video just to see if you can see anything as far as maybe my transitions that suck balls or something.
I'll definitely look at it. Send it over.
Yeah. All right, that's good stuff. I'll take a look at that. We'll go into the lightning rounds being revised again. So we're not going to do one of those. We did one from Todd. Todd threw in a couple kind of smart ones, but we're going to revise it. I'll put it together. We'll do it next show. We could do discount corner. Jen, you have anything you want to start off with, or Steve?
I have Samson Manufacturing. You can get 10% off on their website, which is www.samson-mfg.com, and you can get 10% off on anything there if you use TSM10. They have awesome scope mounts, all kinds of AR parts. I love their scope mounts, though. That's what I always talk about because I absolutely love mine.
Right on. Talking about $300 charging handles. If you want one, you can go to shop.tacticalshit.com. They have it there. TSM10 will save you 10% off that bad boy. So TSM10, 10% off if you want that charging handle, or if you want anything over on the website, you can use TSM10 at shop.tacticalshit.com. I have Dewey rods. That's Cruise Rod, CRUZ Rod 10 for 10% off anything over at Dewey Rods. What do I have? Fort Mill Munitions. They're doing some fine match-grade ammunition now. They're using brand new Starline brass, and they really got the power factor where you want it. So if you're looking for something match-specific for your gun, they have multiple grains, whatever. I think they're using right now they're loading Precision Delta. So that's teamfmm.com. TSM5 saves you 5% off their match-grade ammunition. All right, Terran Tactical Innovations. TSM10 saves you. Jen's got like a whole pistol that's coming. I'm pretty jealous because I have one over there, but she sent hers way before mine. But I can't wait to get it in because I saw it at SHOT, like actually all decked out, the exact one I was going to have, so I'm pretty excited about that. But TSM10 saves you 10% off, so if you wanted a shotgun, rifle, pistol, base pads, everybody needs those. 10% save you off there. And then we have UM Tactical, TSM10, saves you off 10%. That mount won't work for Carry Optics Division. So I mean, we're talking about it. So just
is that UM Tactical? You said?
Yeah, UM Tactical.
The board actually talked about that in the meeting. They were afraid that it would get too much like an open gun because the dot doesn't ride back and forth.
Right.
But like they were open to it if it was presented in a specific matter, because you could basically put that on any gun out there.
Right.
And have a dot on your basically iron sight gun. But they were afraid it changes the division too much to be like open light. So they did talk about it, they discussed it, they didn't get anywhere on it though.
Yeah, and if they did implement it, there would probably have to be some you can't do this, because you can put a full-blown Seymour sight on there.
Yeah, you can get pretty crazy. And they have holsters specifically for it. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, there are some. I mean, and then it's not towards a gun; it's towards a mount. So if you put it on a Glock and then you put it on a CD, you still can rock the same holster. So there's some benefits there. There's some cons there. I mean, your dot's going to be way up there, as far as height over bore issue, as far as a slide-mounted one. But there's that. But yeah, but it's not allowed in there. I mean, they're still doing some talking, but it seems like those style mounts won't be allowed as of right now.
Not as of right now.
Right.
I mean, anything's possible, but the board right now, I mean, if you open it up that much, you're going to have people like putting Seymour mounts on guns and stuff. I think it would be really close to open at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. So there we go. That'll round out discount corner for me. Any come in during that, as far as Q&A?
Oh, any questions on Facebook?
Yeah.
Hang on, let me refresh.
Any new projects, goals, events, matches coming up you want to talk about, Matt?
Basically my schedule will be on the website, hopkinsshooting.com. Go there. I'm going to hit basically Area 6, Barry's Steel Open, the Extreme Euro Open in the Czech Republic, Production Nationals, IPSC Nationals, then the European Handgun Championship as the closeout of the year. So I'm hitting a few more IPSC matches this year, which are, I think, will be good. Good experience for next World Shoot.
It's awesome.
Right. Well, let's see if you want to throw any more CZ stuff out there.
Not so much. I got my people I want to thank at the end or whatever, but straight CZ questions, I feel pretty good with that.
Feel pretty good. All right, Jen, you're clear.
Yeah, we're good on Facebook.
Right on. All right, so I had some brief Q&A here. The UM Mountain is awesome. It will bring more people into the sport. I can agree there.
I think it would for sure. I mean, I think if they do approve it, it'll be a model specific. It's like the UM tactical mount is approved for this division. It won't be anything you can mount to the Picatinny rail.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could see them going that way with it, but I don't know. As of right now, it's probably not going to happen till at least January of next year when they redo the rules.
I love shooting a high point carbine, especially in 45 from Joshua Doss. So we got a high point kind of. I wonder where are they at in the local level? Like if I wanted to bring out my high point carbine or whatever carbine, like I haven't seen how they're doing that on a local level. Have you seen anything like that?
Officially, it's not a division, and you can't really shoot it at a USPSA match. But if you talk to the match director, I don't see why they wouldn't let you. I mean, They might not, just to do the insurance or club or something.
Yeah.
But I've talked to our local match directors, and they said it'd be fine if I went out and shot them. And there's some others that are going to start doing it too. Like, it's going to happen. Either USPSA is going to get on board and get money for it and like make it an accepted thing, or it's going to be outlaw, which is already happening. So.
Yeah. All right, I think we're pretty good on the questions. I know there was some MP5 kind of Uzi feels extremely sluggish compared to an MP5K. I don't know nothing about that rate of fire stuff, go boys.
I don't know either.
You guys that's that subgun stuff, and that's Todd's expertise.
We need Dustin.
Yeah. All right, I think we can wrap this one up. We take this one down to shout-outs. We're right over the hour mark anyway. So that's it. Steve, you want to go ahead and start that off?
Yeah, sure, I can do that. I wanted to thank Larry over at Firefox, the reloading store here, because I went by today and spent a little time and picked up a new press. So that's a cool dude. If you're in Central Florida area, go over and check out his store in Apopka. Obviously, Weapon Shield's been one of my sponsors for quite a long time. Love the product. George is a cool dude, so check out Weapon Shield. And the main sponsor being czforum.com. We recently picked up a few different shooters, starting 2016 strong. We've got Leo DeLeon, who's a GM, shooting a tactical sport. Of course, my buddy Chad Highlander, who is the Central Florida section coordinator for USPSA. So, and he's shooting CZs for us. So, and we added Morgan Allen. Actually, he'll be shooting the IDPA indoor nets and a lot of the other big IDPA matches representing us as well. So,
you know what he's shooting?
Say that again.
You know what Morgan's shooting? Is he shooting a polymer one?
He is shooting an Accu Compact.
Okay.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So it's the what is that new division in IDPA that I never pay attention to? I always forget what it's called.
CCP.
CDP? No, what is it?
CCP.
CCP. That's where he'll be shooting in. So.
Right.
And that's about it, man. Check out czforum.com. Right there. Boom. Team's growing. So.
Right on. Jen, you want to shout-outs?
All right, I got Savannah River Armory, Terran Tactical Innovations, Load Up Ammunition for all your ammunition needs. Shooters and Sharpshooters of Augusta. Great place to go and shoot if you're local to me here in Augusta. Blade Tech, Vortex, Carbon Arms. That's my new one. I'm excited about that one.
Right on.
Lucas Oil, Samson, Operation X, TacticalLife.net. I always want to say .com because it rolls off, but it's .net. Get it right. And I'll give a shout out to the Hike to Survive, which is trying to raise awareness about the 22 veterans a day that take their lives. So Hike to Survive, go to their Facebook page. It's a good way to get veterans out talking.
Right on, that's good stuff. We'll post a link down to that stuff in the description box. Also, we're going to have the Shadow 2 kind of, I'll link like a thread on it. If you guys are curious and first time you guys heard about it and you're a CZ fan, you want to check it out, there's mainly just a picture and a bunch of people commenting right now.
Yeah.
I mean, some people find that entertaining. Is there anything over at CZ Forum on it? You know, there's a thread going on that, Steve?
I am not sure. That's a good question. I'm going to have to check that out.
I'm pretty sure there is.
There's like so many threads over there, I kind of lose track.
Yeah, it's kind of get lost in those things, yeah. All right. Shout out to my ends. Want to check out Tactical Shit, shop.tacticalshit.com. Subscribe to the channel right below this video. You're going to see the subscribe button. Hit that button, and you can keep up to date on all the every Wednesday at 9. We have a new episode of the Shooter's Mindset. We've been talking to Tim Herron. He will be on here. He's already scheduled. So give it a couple weeks, and you'll see Tim on here kind of taking all the practical pistol guys in one shot now.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can catch more Matt Hopkins and Tim and Ben over on the Practical Pistol Show. I don't know when that... You guys don't do like a live schedule thing. It kind of goes up when it goes up, right?
A new episode drops every third day.
Right.
And there's no real time. Maybe in the morning or something. And
Okay,
it's
so
never really live. We always pre-record it.
pre-recorded. Okay, but yeah, I always see it pop in my feed. So they do focus more on specific topics in the shooting world, USPSA and stuff like that. So if you want to kind of learn more about the game, that's a good show to pick up and watch. If you want to email me, theshootersmindset@gmail.com is a good way to get a hold of me. Just definitely want to take Matt Hopkins. Thank you for coming on here, spending an hour with us today, and talking some CZ.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, guys.
We got Rise Armament, Dewey Rods, Techwear USA. All right, we talked about Techwear earlier. That's a fine jersey that's behind me. I got a new one coming. Steve's got one if you want kind of like a CZ Forum Jazz. I guess you can pay them and they'll make you one.
Oh, yeah. We'll get you one.
Yeah. Carbon Arms. I got Snag Mag, Nate Square Tactical, Terran Tactical Innovations, and S3F Solutions. Matt, what do you have as far as shout-outs?
I'd like to thank you guys. You guys do a pretty good show. I listen most weeks. Depends on the guest. And obviously, thanks CZ USA. Without them, I wouldn't be able to shoot what I do, travel around, meet all you shooters and everything. Definitely thank them the most.
Yeah, definitely. They got it. I mean, that's always a bonus being part of a factory team like that. So you get a.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I can't ever say anything bad about it. I mean, it's more than I ever hoped for. So.
Right on. There you go. So that'll do it for episode 120. Thank you guys for tuning in and all the live questions that you guys submitted. Catch us next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Same time, same place here for episode 121. All right. Thank you guys. Have a good night.